You need anything signed?
How's it going? What's that great stuff? That was all Not really. I do it this week. Look, it's got little tiny. Yes,
There was no input from
I don't know. Heather, do we have our student here tonight? The student? Our student here tonight?
Yeah, there's none of. Okay, sorry for the delay. At this time, I would like to call the meeting of the Suffern Central School District Board of Education back to order. If we could please stand for the pledge. Thank you. Thank you for that. And student report. Hi, Maddie.
Hi, my name is Maddie McLeod. I'm a senior at Suffern High School. Winter sports started last week. The National Honor Society induction for juniors and seniors is this Thursday. On December 13th, the Suffern High School has their winter concert #1, and It'll be a fun day. So that is January 4th. Thank you.
Nice.
Thank you very much. Good to see you, always. Next is minutes of the regular meeting of November 20th. We have 2 sets of minutes. We're going to approve them or vote on them individually. November 20th is the regular meeting. We need a motion. Second? Mr. McKenzie. All those in favor signify by saying aye. Aye. All those against? Any abstains? None. So minutes of November 20th are adopted. Minutes of the special meeting of November 29th. Need a motion? Anyone? Mr. Cairns? Second? Mr. McKenzie? All those in favor signify by saying aye. Aye. Anyone against the minutes?
I'm against the minutes.
Is there something wrong?
Well, I have a problem with the policy itself. I think we're in violation of the policy, and I'd like to call Mr. Thompson, our attorney, and review policy 6741, specifically the last paragraph, that indicates that the superintendent, and I think there's a timing issue. I believe that should have been done at the reorganizational meeting. But I'd like some clarification before this vote. Thank you.
The vote is only on the accuracy of the minutes, whether the minutes reflect what took place in the meeting. So it's not agreement or disagreement on the content. It's regarding the actual accuracy of what actually happened. So I just want to clarify that,
Right.
not the content.
I understand that, but
Okay, so Mr. Donnelly is a nay. Anybody? Yes? Everybody else is a yay on the minutes? Did you vote? I'm just making sure. Okay, and Mr. Shapiro and Mr. Cairns, everybody yay. Okay, thank you. I will fill you in on what transpired. So minutes are adopted. Thank you for that. Any legal questions to Mr. Fromson can definitely be addressed to him outside of public session. As he has explained to us numerous times, he will not be able to give legal input in public. Thank you. Next is superintendent comments. Dr. Adams.
I do not have any at this time.
Thank you. And public participation on action items only. Any public participation comments can only be for the duration of 3 minutes, not to exceed 30 minutes in length. Each speaker will please address the president of the Board of Education and cannot discuss individual students or district staff individually. Remarks should be addressed to the board president, and please come to the microphone and introduce yourself, name and affiliation with Suffern Central. This is on action items. Thank you, Ms. Weber. Thank you for your patience. Okay, so any public participation on agenda items, please come to the microphone. It's a relatively short agenda. Sorry.
Good evening, my name is Mike Perrier, I live at 62 Rock Road, Suffolk, New York. I'm here to speak about action on 2.10 yesterday, appointment of election clerk Robert Romanowski. I appreciate the opportunity to speak. I'm glad to hear that the board is considering Robert Romanowski for the election clerk position. I know Bob very well, I've worked with him on a number of things over the years. I don't think you can find a better qualified person or a person with a deeper, more comprehensive knowledge of elections and how they're run than Robert Romanowski. He's been involved in, as far as I know, going back 12 to 15 years, every local election we've had, primary and general election at the local level, the state level, and he's come at it from the perspective of petition carrier. He's carried petitions year after year for many different candidates, collecting thousands of signatures. He's also been a candidate. He's run for office at least 9 times that I know of, at committee level, town councilman, town supervisor, and also the state assembly. So he has that perspective. He also has been a poll watcher numerous times. So he's had that fly on the wall, bird's eye perspective on how elections are run at the point of sale, where the people come in and identify themselves, give it a ballot, and actually vote. He also has a good understanding of the legal underpinning. On more than one occasion, Bob has been taken to court by the town of Brown Coat, or taken the town of Brown Coat to court in a pro se capacity. And every time, acting as his own attorney, has beaten the town and upheld the validity of his petition to remain on the ballot. I should also say that Bob's attention to detail is truly remarkable. This is a guy who, if there's any kind of an open question about anything, will eagerly and relentlessly research it in terms of any body of law that's relevant, any relevant case law. He's going to talk to all the authorities involved to figure out exactly what their opinion is. He's going to talk to people who have the experience to tell them what the best practices are. He's going to get to the bottom of it and make sure that your elections are run properly. And I can just tell you that I know this because I was involved in a long-running court battle we had over the award system. The town of Brown Coat kept throwing our petitions out, saying they're no good. We finally said, you know what, let's Bob and I look at this. Let's take this, we'll throw them back in, we'll take them to court. It's a long 2-year battle that went up to the appellate division and back. But Bob did all the legal filings. He coordinated all the process of service, did all the affidavits of service, and did many motions on his own initiative in a pro se capacity in regards to our petitions and how they were filed. We never missed a filing. We never had anything disqualified in the technicality. All of our cases went before the court and were addressed on the merits. And that's thanks to Bob. Without Bob, we never would have had a vote on the award system. And I'll just say, in closing, Bob's integrity is beyond reproach. This is a guy who is a steadfast, stubborn stickler for the rule of law.
Thank you.
And fairness for everybody.
Thank you very much.
If you have Bob overseeing your elections, you're going to have elections that are fair and open and accurately reflect the will of the
Thank you, sir.
people.
Thank you. Appreciate your comments. Thank you. Anyone else? Seeing that there are no further comments, we will close this segment and move on to our action items. Action items 2.01 to 2.12. Would any board members like to pull any of the items? I have a quick question on 2.04 and 05, just related, so I'll just pull those two, 04 and 05. It's a pretty quick question, and We'll do a consent agenda on all items except 2.04 and 2.05.
I'd like to do 2.12 separately if we can.
2.12 separately, okay. We'll pull that as well. Any others? Anybody? None? Okay, so consent agenda on 2.01 to 2.03, 2.06 to 2.11. Motion? Mr. Shapiro, second. Mr. Donnelly. All those in favor signify by saying aye. Aye. Any nays or abstains? None? Thank you. .04 and 2.05, we need a motion on the floor. Mr. McKenzie, second. Mr. Kern. I just have a question. I noticed we approved September on November 20th, and we had August here, so I just wanted to clarify.
I didn't realize it wasn't on until Tuesday of the meeting that it wanted.
Okay. So we missed it last time, basically. It should have been on that agenda. Okay, but there was nothing.
No, it just happened.
That-
Like I said, I realized it was last
Okay,
minute.
that was my question. Thank you. Thanks, Teresa. Okay, so all those in favor signify by saying aye. Aye. All those against? Any abstains? Abstentions? None. Thank you. .112, we have a motion on the floor.
Move.
Mr. McKenzie, second. Ms. Reamer. Any discussion? No discussion. All those in favor signify by saying aye. Aye. All those against? None? Any abstains? None as well? Okay, congratulations. We have an oath of office
Yes.
that our attorney, Mr. Steve Fromson, is going to administer.
I, Robert Romanowski,
I, Robert Romanowski,
do solemnly swear
do solemnly swear
that I will support the Constitution of the State of the United States,
that I support the Constitution of the United States
and the Constitution of the State of New York,
and the Constitution of the State of New York,
and that I will faithfully discharge the duties of election clerk
and I will fairly discharge the duties of election clerk
of the Suffern Central School
of
District
the Suffolk Central School District
according to the best of my ability.
according to the best of my ability. Thank you. I just want to thank this board for their confidence and hiring me. I really appreciate it. I believe I have something to offer to the school district. And I just want to tell the voters of the school district that elections will be conducted according to the applicable election law. The elections will be conducted fairly, and anyone running or involved in the election will be treated with courtesy and respect. Thank you.
So Mr. Romanowski came in and met with the Board of Education on November 20th, and I think we got all excited about everything that you said, which was wonderful, and your expertise, obviously, in the area of elections in general. But we all got excited, I think, about involving our high school students in some of the future endeavors of our the election process and making it an educational experience for our students. So we hope that does happen. And maybe we can all come for a training session as well. Thank you, and welcome. There are no administrative reports or information items for discussion. We have one item that was tabled from the previous meeting regarding National School Board Conference, which is taking place in Philadelphia, Pennsylvania. So it's a drivable distance as opposed to some that involve flights. So perhaps once again, we can hopefully afford to send more board members to the event. Heather has a little bit of information for us to help us with. Okay, so registration fees are online. The deadline to register as the early bird rate before it goes up is January 11th, I believe. And so it would behoove the board to take a vote at its early January meeting on exactly how many will travel to Philadelphia. But I just wanted to, first of all, kind of find out who's available, and Dr. Adams will share with us a little bit about our travel budget, which is, a limited amount that we approve in the annual budget.
In terms of the budget, the remaining, less the encumbrances and expenditures, is about $1,578. But Teresa today was able to find a purchase order that remained open from last year on funds that were not expended by last year's school board in the amount of $2,910. So the total amount available for board members to attend would be $4,488.64.
Okay, 4,088.
$4,488.64.
4488. And that's all travel, not other items of the board budget. That's specifically travel,
Yes.
right? So that would include registration, hotel, and car travel, auto expenses. So the issue with these conferences is the very high registration. So we're gonna do our math and send an email out with how many we can actually afford to send in terms of covering all expenses such as auto travel, hotel, and registration. The registration pretty much takes up the bulk of the cost. National especially is pretty high. And then people will need to email back to the president stating their interest. And then we'll try to give opportunities for those who didn't go to New York State Convention. There's also another event in January, which is the Capitol Conference, which is an advocacy-specific event. It would be great if one person can go to that because it's lobbying for some of the important federal legislature. So it's another great event for someone to go to on behalf of the board. So just wanted to put it out there. Please look up the information on the National School Board Association's website. It's the end of March 30th to April 1st. It's in Philadelphia again. We can carpool like we did to New York City and save some cost that way. And please give me feedback whether you're interested or not as soon as possible so that we can put it to vote at the January meeting, the first January meeting. Okay? The one in DC, I'll look it up and send you. It's usually towards the end of the month. Yeah. So that's open registration already. Any questions? Okay, so that concludes this segment as well. And Dr. Adams, closing comments?
Public participation.
Oh, public participation, I apologize. Public participation, segment 2 on non-action items.
I just wanted to take this opportunity to thank Mr. Romanowski for stepping up for the job, and also to ask you, I don't know if it's the appropriate venue or the appropriate person to ask you, but to consider a move to get the elections out of our schools, or at least to have them when our students are not in the schools. That's all I have to say.
Thank you very much. Any additional comments?
I just looked at this for the first time, and I
So the agenda has one action item only, and it's going to involve an executive session interviews. It's the follow-up to last Thursday's meeting, so just the action item. So the interviews are private. I've checked into that. That's executive, and then there'll be just a vote on a final selection. And that's the only piece of business on Thursday.
And the vote is public?
The vote's public, yes, absolutely. Yes, ma'am. Thank you.
Hello, good evening. My name is Paul Halley. Tonight, I was on the agenda to be approved as the new clerk typist at Montebello Elementary School. I'm really excited about this position, and I wanted to share a couple comments that I wrote. It'll be brief. Superintendent Adams, the President and Board of Education and Central Office Administration. As a Suffern High School graduate and former substitute teacher at Suffern Central, I'm excited to see my name appear on the board agenda tonight in the Civil Service Personnel Report as the new clerk typist at Montebello Elementary School. I've served as a substitute clerk in this position since late October, and I have found it to be challenging but rewarding work. If approved tonight, which it looks like I already have been, I am excited to further my career in education, but more importantly, serve as an asset to the Montebello community. I am passionate and invested in the academic outcomes and overall well-being of every student at Montebello, even if this position is not in teaching. 18 years ago, I walked into Montebello Elementary School as a first grader, scared and alone. Suffern Central has shown me incredible support since day one, and I couldn't be happier to serve as support for my old elementary school and for the outstanding children who triumphantly embody it. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Mr. Haley and all appointees on tonight's agenda, congratulations and welcome back to your family, Suffern Central. We're happy to have you. Thank you.
Hello, my name is Andrew Dale. I have 2 children in the school district. At the November 20th meeting, the board president attempted to make a motion in which Dr. Adams claimed that it was a violation of policy and law. In his own words, he stated that the creation of the agenda falls on him. To amend the agenda is a violation of policy and a violation of a decision from the Department of Education. And he's the only one that can prepare the policy and amend the agenda. He's the only one that can prepare and amend the agenda solely. The president of the board and the board as a whole has no authority. In the spirit of being factual, I've done some homework and decided to address the board directly. And I'll start with, I'm not an attorney. This is not legal advice. But I've just done a ton of research, and after contacting the Committee on Open Government, New York State Department of State, along with contacting the Office of Counsel for the New York State Department of Education, it seems as though the information that was provided seems not only misleading, but subsequently appears to be incorrect, or when twisted and spun, half correct at best. If we go through it, NISPA, who everybody refers to as the go-to resource, they actually state that in reference to meeting agendas. Number 1, although it is good business practice to have an agenda for a school board meeting, an agenda is not specifically required. Cited matter of Kramer, April 30th, 1997. New York Department of State, in their manual for conducting meetings and hearings, and that falls under the Division of Local Government Services, it states, when a meeting is held, it uses up the time of board members, applicants, engineers, attorneys, planners, and other experts and members of the public. Therefore, a meeting should be well planned to make sure it makes use of everybody's time. The presiding officer of the meeting should supervise the preparation of the meeting agenda, which should indicate the topics of conversation and the order in which they will occur. But an agenda is simply a tool and is not required by law. Therefore, items on it can be added, deleted, or rearranged. So this brings us to the Suffern Central policies, policy 2342, which is the agenda preparation and dissemination. It says the superintendent, in consultation with the board president, shall prepare the agenda for each board meeting according to the order of business to facilitate order and efficient meetings, and to allow board members sufficient preparation time. It states that he is responsible for preparing the agenda. Nowhere does it state that he can amend an agenda. It simply states that he must prepare one. I'm not an English teacher, but prepare does not mean amend. it also does not mean that they need to use it. Also, the word amend doesn't appear anywhere in the policy. Policy 2350, board meeting procedures, it states the order of business. It does not state that meeting items cannot be voted on if they do not appear on the agenda. Nor does it state anywhere in any policy that motions cannot be made in a meeting that were not on an agenda. I also called the Department of Education, Office of Counsel, at 1:29 p.m. today, and they had no clue what decision was being referred to. If you could give me a decision number just so I could check that out, that would be great. But I looked, I called them, and they could not direct me to one. So I would suggest that the board doesn't make a motion to amend the agenda because there's no need to. They can simply make a motion to vote on an action item and go ahead and vote on it. Since an agenda is not required by law, nor does the district policy require, or even mention that only items that are voted, the only items that can be voted on must appear on an agenda.
Thank you, Mr. Dale.
So there is more, and I could post it, but Dr. O'Malley, I don't know if you'd like the paperwork that I was referring to. You'd like a copy of it, or?
You can give us whatever you'd like.
Yeah. Okay.
Thank you. Thank you. Any additional comments? Seeing there are none, we will close this segment, and now we are really having superintendent comments.
The time under my comments, what I would like to ask the board to do is maybe recognize the death of our President George H.W. Bush, and maybe just have a brief moment of silence.
Thank you, Dr. Adams. Appreciate that. And the chair would like to entertain a motion to adjourn the meeting. Ms. Reamer, second. Mr. Cairns. All those in favor signify by saying aye. Aye. Thank you, everybody. Meeting adjourned.